Hello. In this session, we're going to discuss the Turbot Terraform Provider and showcase how it works. So Turbot, in most of our demo videos, we have showcased our Turbot console, our graphical interface. And as mentioned in prior sessions, we are a GraphQL API backend. So anything you've seen in the product, you can query or mutate, as well as leverage the console or the GUI. We also have a command line interface, which we'll showcase in another video. But in today's session, we're going to focus on also how you can interface with Turbot with our Terraform provider. And so with our Terraform provider, that's public within HashiCorp's website. So you can go to the integrations page and browse for Turbot to visualize what we do with Terraform and to get quick access to our website and the documentation. There's also the provider documentation within the HashiCorp website that you can browse what types of resources that we can manage within Turbot. And then also within our website, turbot.com/v5, you can view all of our developer tools from our developer kit that's on GitHub, a public repository, as well as getting access to our Terraform provider, our CLI, and API. We also have additional documentation, so as you're getting started with Turbot, more information you can read on from Terraform, as well as a 7-minute guide for installing the provider and getting to your first configuration stack. So with that, I'm just going to go into the Turbot console. So I'm browsed to a specific folder within the hierarchy. So in this case, it's Chuck's demo account folder, which consists of an Amazon account, an Azure subscription, and a Google project. And I'm going to set some policies that are going to be in this folder structure and then inherited down to my resources. And so, of course, I can use the Turbot console like you've seen in other videos, but in this use case, I'm going to use Terraform to apply many settings at once. And so I will load up an IDE real quick just to show you in this use case, I have demo settings that are in place that are going to go against Chuck's folder. And so I'm going to be setting bucket versioning to be enforced on S3 buckets, as well as Azure Storage Account. I'm going to enforce a hot access tier. And then GCP bucket versioning, I'm also going to enforce that to be enabled. And then a much more complex policy to enforce varying ingress rules on a VPC security group. And this is a calculated policy that will run if there's a specific tag. And so any type of configuration for policies or identity management, folder structures, etc., could be managed through Terraform. So this is just one of many examples that you can leverage the provider with. And so here I'm just going to enforce this type of configuration. So just going to initialize Terraform within this folder structure. I'm then going to run a Terraform plan. Right, so that's basically taking this stack right here and saying that all this is brand new into the environment, and it's going to add those 5 policies. So I can run a Terraform apply, and basically we'll repeat the plan back and then ask me if I want to enforce. And so there it just gave back the data of each one of those being created and then the completion of them. So it added 5 of those resources. So going back to the Turbot console, and I'll just do a refresh here. So all of those 5 policies are now set, and it captured the actor information that it was me creating each one of those policies. And so easy way at scale to deploy policies or changes to policies in that environment. So if I go back to that script, and let's say I made a change to on this Azure to enforce cool. I went back to my apply that change. In good nature with Terraform, it will understand that diff and the update that it's going to apply. I want to apply it, and now it had that one change. And so if I go back here, I can see, if I just do a refresh here, I could see now that the access tier is in force cool, and that I did that update as well. And so I could see that activity streaming in of those policy changes. And so if I wanted to go back and destroy the Terraform and remove those policies, Terraform destroy would work just like any other configuration. So if I want to destroy all those policies, click yes there. Now all 5 of them are destroyed. And similarly, that audit trail will be in place. Just when I do the refresh, those settings are gone, and you could see that Bob removed those policy settings. Now, just as another example that we can use Terraform for, so one of the things that Turbot supports is custom metadata within our CMDB. And so this is an example where you can deploy files of any type of information. So this is a dummy example here of Bob's Bagels applications, of the app IDs and the app name, the cost center, and the owner. So picture this as information that might be coming from your service catalog and then being added to the CMDB. So you can also manage that through Terraform, as well as GraphQL and other components. So this is an example where I might have a file where I want to deploy these cloud app projects as a file within that folder structure. And so here, just Bob's applications version 2. And so I can take this to deploy this type of configuration details into Turbot as well. And so if I just go to that folder structure, and then initialize Terraform, do a plan. So here, very similarly, just adding in this custom metadata into the CMDB, very similar to managing policy settings within Turbot as well. And so this is going to add this as an application or a file within Turbot. So if I go Terraform apply, click yes. Great. Now I have one file added. So here it's the Bob Bagels 2. So I could see that activity on the Chuck's demo account folder. So I could see that Bob created a file with this type of information. And so if I go into that file, I can see the metadata within the CMDB. And I could see the activity on that very specifically. Now, very similar to the prior use case, if I was to go in and maybe change, instead of the owner being Tom, and I ended up changing it to Gary, and this one Chuck, and then I reran. So now this is showing me the changes that are going to happen, moving it from Tom and Peter to Gary and Chuck. And then I click yes. Right, so I had that one change against the file. It's 2 changes, but within the data structure. And so just refresh the page here. I'll see that change come through. Just like anything else within Turbot, I could see the diff history. So I could see the actor and then the change that occurred. So this would be very similar, like if an S3 bucket got updated, or a Lambda function, or an Azure storage account, or a Google network. Whatever had changed in the environment, I could see the diff, and that's true on resources in Turbot or data that's being fed into Turbot. And so whether it's coming from Terraform, the console here, GraphQL, it's all going to be the same event stream and user activity. And very similarly, I can go back into Terraform here, and then just do a Terraform destroy. And then I could remove the file. And so now that's gone from the folder structure here, and I could see that Bob deleted that file and what he had deleted. So these are just quick examples of how you can use Terraform to talk and manage Turbot resources and configurations. We're happy to give you a more curated demo at any time. Please feel free to reach out to us at connect@turbot.com for more information. Thank you.